Hello everyone, welcome to Straight Facts. I am Blake Hohlbein.
My name's Anthony, Delrosario.
And this is the podcast about really whatever we want it to be about, but mainly volleyball and disc golf in Adrian and around the world. So we're going to give you the facts straight, and then our opinions, which are also straight facts.
Just straight.
We are actually on the way right now to Updike Park in Montpelier, Ohio. I have played it a couple of times. Anthony has never played it.
Nope.
But before I get into more disc golf and you get into some volleyball, I want to kind of take us on a brief journey of disc golf and hear your story on how you got into disc golf.
Yeah. So it all started on a random night. I was playing volleyball.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I am actually a lover of the volleyball game. But one night, this random guy stopped, after we were playing volleyball, said, "Hey, you want to play some disc golf, glow in the dark?" And I was like, "No." And then, so I took him a couple tries, and then after the second night, he asked me again, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it a try." And so we played some glow-in-the-dark disc golf. I was like, I'm not horrible at this game.
Yeah.
And I was like, because, from the side, disc golf doesn't look that great until you put the disc in your hand.
Yeah.
And now you're in control of it. But, yeah, so we started running up on some glow-in-the-dark. Kind of got into it for like a month. Bought some discs.
When was this?
I want to say it was last year.
Last year?
It was actually you. But
Yeah. So I wanted to keep the listeners, thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to leave it like on a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was me.
So it was him. Anyways, past that part though, so we started getting into it. I quit for I would say 4 months.
Yeah.
And then life got busy.
I mean, it was cold.
Relationships.
And it got cold.
Yeah. It did get cold actually.
Yeah, because that was in the fall right before. So that was the fall of 2021, right before the winter.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
And then my friend, shout out to Josh Morrow, if you're out there listening to
he's listening.
Straight Facts.
He's listening. We'll probably have him as a guest.
Oh, he'll be the guest for sure.
At some point. Wow, they just redid this road. This is nice.
That's actually really smooth. Past that point.
So Josh, what happened?
So essentially with Josh, he kind of was like, "Hey, does anyone want disc golf?" And I was like, "Yeah." Got out the old disc, a little bit dusty. But we started playing disc golf again. Now we're back in it. Playing at least 2 to 3 times a week for myself. And
really, Josh, I mean, he hasn't been playing very long.
No, I think 2 months. 2 or 3 months.
And then, just yesterday, he was up at the toboggan watching the pros out there throwing in the tournament. And, this is kind of a good segue right into some hot topics here.
Yeah.
So, this is the 40th anniversary of the Discraft Great Lakes Open that is held at the Kensington Metro Parks, just north of Ann Arbor, Michigan. And they play the men's side, they play the women's side. Now, if you're familiar with the PDGA, they actually call, it's not really men's side, it's called the Mixed Professional Open, MPO, and then the FPO, Female Professional Open, okay? So, recently, a big deal, if you've been awake at all lately, has been trans athletes. And there is a trans athlete that has been playing disc golf in the FPO division.
Which is the female division, right?
Which is the female division, and they were a born male. Now, I would argue that they are still a male. That, unfortunately, they do have a little bit of a mental illness. And they're being allowed to play in the FPO division.
Mm-hmm.
So, this athlete, they've been playing, I would say, about for the last year on the big stage at the big tournaments, and obviously been getting some attention because they're doing pretty well. And today, July 31st, 2022, they just won their first ever big Elite Series, is what they'd call it, Elite Series tournament. So, off the bat, I just want to ask you, Anthony, what are your thoughts?
It's a tough one, I'm not gonna lie. It's a situation situation that America right now is going through is, do we allow men or male that were born male, do we allow them to play in female sports? And personally, I would say no.
Yeah, why is that?
So, like, according to genetics, and there has been scientific studies on this, and I would encourage everybody before, even trashing anybody for either side, do the research.
Yes.
There's biological positives, if you would, that this person has over the woman that are playing right now.
Yes.
I mean, even though, yes, you might have transitioned through chemicals or, in some body configuration, but all in all, you still have the strength of a male. You still have the mentality of a male, most likely. So you're going to do better, or should, if you would, do better in that sport. Yeah. That's not fair. I don't know, essentially, you've got a physical advantage. And now I want to make a point here. We're not going to get into, in this podcast, we're not going to talk about people that are born with both parts. I do think that is a serious thing that needs to be talked about, but we are strictly talking about people that were born either male or female, which is, 99.9% of the world is born either with male parts or female parts. And so, or I should say, male or female. Yes, excuse me. But, I guess I would agree with you. I think, this is I've got a couple takes on this. One, we have the MPO, which is Mixed Professional Open. Mixed is a perfect place for a trans athlete to compete. We're literally saying it's not just men. It could be anybody in this division. FPO is Female Professional Open. Yeah. It is designated for females. So, PDGA, if you're watching this, take one out of your own book here. I mean, it literally says in your rule book, I just saw a screenshot that was in the comments of one of the PDGA's posts that preceded today's championship round, and right there it said, female, FPO, male, and anybody else mixed. So anyway, then the other comment that I thought was interesting, and I think it's just an interesting argument that I saw, was, before we get into volleyball here, we'll wrap this up, but someone said, I think on the other side, a lot of people will argue and say, oh, there's not really an advantage. There's not really an advantage. Well, I do think it is interesting, because I think it speaks for itself in that there aren't really any girls born female that transition to be a man that are competing in men's sports. Yeah. What do you say to that? You don't see them.
Yeah.
You don't see them. You don't see them headlining news. You're not going to see them in really any other sport. And to be honest with you, probably the only other sport that might contest with that is pool. But or volleyball.
There's something to that. I agree. Yeah, there's definitely. I do feel like women tend to be reflexively very good, like ping pong.
You're correct.
But yeah, those fine skills, women do tend to be very good at those.
Exactly. And I think I don't want to say go back to the basics, but we got to stick with the rules. If the rule is in the book, unless it's changed by PDGA, you have to follow that rule, because then you're crossing the border, and that's what everybody's upset about.
Right.
No, we're not trying to be demeaning to, that community of transgenders. We're just trying to say, hey, we want it to be fair. I'm not going to go up into, and this might be an extreme thing, I'm not going to go to a junior high volleyball camp and be like, yo, I'm 14 years old, and then win the whole thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the rules clearly state that you have to be 14U, just like in the PDGA. If there is an option for a mixed, like I don't see that non-discriminatory. Like, you are playing with women and also men. So you have equal, and you go into that tournament, that league, knowing that you have other people that are going to be against you that have either one more power or even two, like, just know the game a little bit more.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, I have seen that point presented on age because, yeah, there's a reason we have age divisions. You know, there's a reason that 18U girls volleyball aren't playing against 14 or 13U. You know, there's a difference in, you know, where they are in their stage of puberty. And you know, it's interesting, I hear people talk about, you know, this is kind of getting into it I guess more, but puberty blockers and how, you know, you can block that. And so now there's almost a push to say, hey, you know, as long as they are transitioning earlier. Actually, I believe there was a couple statements that just came out regarding this, where it's like, essentially, if you're past a certain age and you transition past a certain age, you're not actually able to compete in your now transitioned gender class, basically. But some people have then said, well, now that's just going to push kids to have to transition earlier, which is an interesting thought. Now, my hope is that it won't do that, and my hope is that, you know, it'll keep kids from transitioning and keep them from this, what I would call a, you know, kind of a toxic and I don't know, very heavily media influenced phenomenon.
Correct.
So that's my hope. But we can move on from this. I think there's a lot more conversation that can be had, but
that could be for another time.
Yeah, I mean, it happened today. You know, I'm hoping to maybe see if I can get this posted online tonight. Since it is such a hot issue. But let's go into talking a little bit about the rest of the sports scene around Adrian. You are heavily involved in the president, actually, of
that is correct.
LYA, Lenawee Young Adults. So tell us a little bit about your organization, what you do, and kind of the history, and then what things are looking like now.
So Lenawee Young Adults was a dream of mine since I was right out of high school. You know, in the current community that we have, Adrian, Michigan, there's not a lot of things for people to do. I mean, we have a couple places, we have a couple leagues. So we have like a disc golf league, we have maybe a soccer league that might run. I really don't know. And that's
the YMCA.
The YMCA does do a lot of leagues itself. But like, there's really not much for people to do throughout the year to have community. And so I took it to a person. They said no. Well, that's another story for another time. And I was like, I don't understand. So I was like, there's only one person that can do that, and that's me. You know, if you dream it, believe it, do it. You know, that's the biggest thing about today's world, is that people want things to happen, but then they never take the steps to do it. Straight facts. And so I literally took that initiative. And don't get me wrong, it was very hard for me to do. You know, a lot of mental, you know, things that were going along with that, and then because it's scary, you know. Great. It's almost like a business now, where
got some merch.
We do got some merch.
Stickers.
Got some stickers.
Looking to expand that.
We are.
Good.
Look, talking with hopefully a designer soon.
Good.
But essentially, it all started out with 4 people. We're like, hey, you want to play volleyball? And
So who were the original 4?
So it would be Nan.
Okay.
So Nan.
Which for those at home that don't know the nicknames, can you give the full names?
I believe it's Brianne. I don't know if it's Brianna. This is gonna be embarrassing if she sees
this.
That
is kind of embarrassing.
I just call her Nan Johnson, I guess. You know her last name.
To us, she's Nan.
It was Anthony Moore, and Marissa Prettyman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have
that was that picture actually.
The picture in my house. Yeah, that was the group.
I guess I didn't realize that Anthony was one of the OGs.
Yep, he is the OG.
Wow. Okay.
Like the original gangster of Lenawee Young Adults.
Straight facts.
So we played 2s. We sucked. We were horrible.
But you had fun.
We had fun.
And that was the goal. You're building community, having fun.
And so I put it on my Instagram story, my Snapchat story. You got like maybe 2 more people coming. And then like...
Just on your personal?
Yeah. Okay. So Lenawee Young Adults, it hasn't really been formed yet.
Okay.
So like we talked about it, and then like literally a week later, like we should make this a group. So I started thinking, and I was like, what do we name this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
You're like, where are we?
Yeah. Like, where are we at? And I'm like, Lenawee County.
Good.
So Lenawee Young Adults. So it was actually geared at first to be a young adults group for community doing sports like kickball,
Yeah.
football, basketball, volleyball, and the age group would have been 18 to 25, just like a typical like young adults group that you would find anywhere else. And we stuck with that for a while. I mean, it didn't really grow the first year. I mean, we had probably a good solid 8 people. But the next year after that, it exploded. I mean, we were running probably 30 to 40 a night.
Wow. Now, where in this timeline did you start the Lenawee Young Adults Instagram page?
I would say 3 weeks after we actually had our first meetup.
Now, with the Instagram page, are you the only one that has access to that account? Okay,
Yes.
so none of the OGs besides you, because you were really the pioneer,
Yeah.
have access to that. So
Correct. It's just me.
Okay.
Yep, I ran this from the ground up. I kind of took my degrees in social media marketing.
Okay.
So like that is one of my passions is social media.
Awesome.
I think social media is the gateway to get any type of community that you need to, especially in today's modern world. You know, straight facts.
That is straight facts.
And
it's
so
free.
And it's free.
Yeah.
Until you need to pay for ads. But I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
You really need that sense of community. And like now, I mean, we're running, I would say 20 people a night. I mean, we used to play literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Well, I think it's even been bigger than that at points, and I think it's kind of like it reached the point where it was like there was almost too many people.
There was too many people.
Because for only 2 courts.
Yep.
2 sand courts at the center. And
shout out to the Center real quick, by the way.
yeah,
They
so
let
tell
us
me
use
about
their-
that. I want to hear about that partnership and like how that all went down. Because in the beginning, it was just a few of you out there,
Yeah.
and it like wasn't a big deal.
No.
But now, since there's been so many, you know, the center is a private. For those of you that don't know, the center is a private sports club, health club. I guess I would say health club. You know, they have a pool, an indoor pool, an outdoor pool. They have basketball courts, multi-purpose courts rather. You can access the Lenawee Christian School track for walking or running, and then there's softball fields, volleyball, obviously, disc golf. I mean, this is a nice health club, and people pay good money,
Very good money.
to use their amenities and facilities.
But like going back to that, I mean, like at first it was like I said, it was a small thing. You know, I grew up around LCS, or what is the center.
Yes.
And I grew up there. You know, I grew up knowing where this place was, but what I witnessed is that no one used the area. And if you don't know anything about LCS or the center, it's gorgeous. I mean, it's literally humongous when it comes to the fields and the baseball areas and kickball areas and everything there. And I was like, I have a dream for this place. So I mean, really, it's just this year. I wouldn't say we have partnered, but we are definitely working together.
Yeah. So I mean, what is the deal? Because they're not charging you anything.
They're not. It's completely free.
Wow.
And I think the vision that I have talked with the sports coordinator himself is that we want community, we want people to know, for one, know Jesus. 2, have a sense of community and a
No
place
Jesus,
to be.
KNOW, no Jesus.
Yeah.
Not
no Jesus.
Yeah.
No Jesus at all.
Yeah.
But that is one of the biggest things that LCS and the center also provide, and really kind of state. It's like, I mean, that is the main mission. And so it's been wonderful being able to. We're trying to park.
Trying to get gas. Got 7 miles till empty.
Straight gas.
Looks like this car might be taking. We might just pause here, and yeah, they are taking. Oh, well, I can get this. Oh, and it's a Sparty pump. Yes, if I can get in there. Let's see. I'm gonna do a little. We're gonna pause for sponsorship. And,
Lenawee Christmas Insurance.
Welcome back. This is Blake and Anthony.
I should have said that.
What?
I mean, that's my line. No.
Oh.
Welcome back, guys. This is Blake.
Okay, hold on. Okay, ready? I'll cut this. No, you go.
1 second. Welcome back, guys. It's Anthony again, and we got
Blake. We just got gas.
straight gas.
Straight gas, under $4 a gallon at $3.99. 0.9.
Didn't think we'll ever see that again.
Don't forget the 0.9, people. Really, when it's 0.9, it's basically just put it up to the next one. I mean,
Exactly.
I don't know why they do that.
Might as well just be 4.
Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, we are back on the road. I just want to say really quickly, we stopped at a Sparty pump. That was pretty cool. And we are heading again to the disc golf course. So, Anthony, to get back into what you were talking about how wonderful the partnership is with the center. I like to call it LCM, Lenawee Christian Ministries.
Yes.
That's kind of the encompassing body of what they are. But yeah, tell us more about the partnership and kind of how things are moving forward.
Sure. Yeah, so like we get this, I get this kind of cool opportunity to work kind of hand in hand with the sport coordinator there. I'm not sure what his official job title is, but I feel like that's pretty cool being the sports coordinator. And like I said, we spoke both our missions. Like I said, I want community, he wants community. He wants to see these sports filled with people. And I think the greatest things about, running kind of I would say maybe an organization or a league like this, is that I get to hear from people literally all around the town, be like, hey, are you that guy that plays volleyball at LCS courts? I'm like, LCM, but yes. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I'm like, yes, and it really is kind of almost humbling and also really exciting to see, because when you bring it down, like when you're sitting there playing volleyball and like I have to direct people what to do. I mean, we know what we're doing now, but like me and just a couple of friends created an event where people literally look forward to getting out of the house every single time we play volleyball. And I think that's literally the best thing about this is like I get to see people laugh. I get to see people, try their best. And like I've watched all these people who were either not good or medium good, and now are volleyball players.
Yeah.
They can go to a beach and play, and they get excited about getting that volleyball in their hand and getting their first serve and bringing their friends.
Yeah.
Because volleyball is it's a sport that brings people together, and it really is. And just one of the dynamics that I really love about the way that we play at LA is we kind of do like that kickball style picking. So like we get 4 captains, and some people don't like being the captains, which is fair. So other people will.
They don't want to make other people feel bad.
Yeah.
They get picked last.
Exactly. And we have a cool little style. So I mean, the teams even out. You're gonna have some really good players, and you're gonna have players that might not be as good, but you're also working with the players that are good.
Yeah.
So and especially this year, I feel like I know a lot of us, or some of us, got the opportunity to play indoor with some of the collegiate athletes at Siena Heights. So like us now, we're able to help people improve with their volleyball skills. And like for me, that's amazing, because like I said, it goes hand in hand with community. And I think that's why the center in us and LCM and the LCS, we all get along, because we have the same mission, and that is community. Because without community, you have literally yourself and maybe a few family members, but you literally almost don't have nothing. You need that time away. You need that time away from your house. You need that sunlight, And that's what I appreciate about the center as well. I mean, they're running a league right now in the same area. It's actually on Mondays and Wednesdays. And a lot of the people from LYA participate in this league. There's probably a good solid 3 or 4 teams where 2 years ago, probably no one even played volleyball as much as they do now. And now they're playing it literally every week.
Yeah.
And now it's a sport. It's a thing they look forward to.
You're right. It's interesting, because I think from an initial perspective for the center, if I am the chief financial officer, I might initially think, what are we doing? We're letting people use this for free.
Yeah.
But really, by playing the long game, in some ways, I feel like you should probably financially be benefiting from this.
Sure.
And maybe we can talk about that more. But they have been able to use what you've developed using their facilities, and now they've kind of capitalized on it, been able to, and I don't know how much they're making off of it, but run some leagues there that people have enjoyed, and I think that's really due in part to all that you've done with LIA.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the best part about this, and the reason why I haven't taken anything financially, because like if you look in other leagues closer to Ann Arbor,
Yeah.
I mean some pickup games you're getting charged $5 to $10 just
Yeah.
to show up and play. You know, for me it's like I want that community to be, you know,
It's tough,
open.
because obviously somebody has to maintain the facilities.
Correct.
This is kind of an offshoot of this conversation, but curious what your thoughts are.
Mm-hmm.
Would love to see lights at the sand
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Don't know what that would look like, but have you considered at all running any kinds of like fundraiser tournaments, or trying to partner with the center on, hey, could we get lights?
Yeah.
Is this a possibility? People love playing, because I would love to see that. I think, you know, especially when we hit the different daylight savings,
Yeah.
you get like early spring, late, you know, late
Exactly.
fall. You can't really play any later than like 7 o'clock.
Very true.
You know,
And that
Outside.
can be the hard part about this
Yeah.
sport, especially when they were doing sand volleyball. But yes, there has been a discussion.
great. That's awesome to hear.
Now, on my end, I don't know how much I can do. That's more of the
Right,
sports
right.
coordinator and, you know, and what he can do with the administration that he has, obviously. But
Yeah.
I think that I know that has been done, I believe, according to him, and also
Like,
hopefully
when you say has been done, like a conversation has been had.
I believe he said, and don't quote me, but I believe he said that they have done like a night where it's been night volleyball. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
Like they rent lights.
I'm not sure what the logistics of it was, but I believe he said that.
Interesting.
So we'll definitely have to maybe bring him on the
Oh yes, definitely.
podcast and
for
speak
sure.
some straight facts
For
with us about.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Okay, well that's pretty cool. So now, obviously your focus is volleyball.
Yeah.
You have done other sports.
Have.
Tell me a little bit about some of the other sports you have done, and you know, kind of maybe some of the barriers to doing more.
Mhm.
Obviously, you're one guy.
Yeah. And that can be the tricky part, just because, you know, I have a full-time job on the side.
Yeah.
I literally work 9 o'clock all the way to 7:30. So, like, that really captivates that time. You know, that's not a lot of time to do stuff, but we did try to capitalize on a few things. We did kickball. We had one successful day, and then we had another day that wasn't successful. So we really just haven't done that because volleyball is the demand.
Yeah.
But we had soccer, and you actually came to soccer.
I did. That was
and
a
it was
blast.
a great turnout.
Yeah, that was an interesting time for me. Not usually a soccer guy,
Same.
but I was injured both arms. Imagine that. My right elbow, disc golf, kind of a combination disc golf / helping with my grandparents' injury, and then my left side, I started playing disc golf with my left arm, and then proceeded to hurt my left arm. So I was left with 2 legs that the Lord had blessed me with, and I wanted to get in some soccer. And I know
You were not bad.
Well, thank you. That's
You're
nice.
welcome.
I appreciate that. I enjoyed playing. There was some good players out there.
So we had
Some college,
good.
I think some college
Yeah.
caliber players were out there, and they made us look a little bit silly, but it was fun.
I had like one good run and I was tired for 15 minutes.
Yeah,
I was straight gassed out.
straight gassed.
So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean, just kind of going tagging off that. It's just like I said, the community is just, we flow with things.
yeah,
And like the goal this year was to get into more sports. Of course, my life got a little bit more demanding, but
sure.
I mean, I want to do like basketball. I want to do that.
I know.
Soccer,
Disc golf
kickball, partnership with disc golf. I mean, we did partner with a cool insurance company.
Yeah,
They actually provided us the first like original like good volleyballs.
some good balls. Yeah, so Lenawee Christmas Insurance, the company that I am an agent for, we were able to sponsor some volleyballs for LIA. The balls that you guys had were pretty rough.
They were a Walmart $15 Walmart. Balls.
They were bad.
Yeah.
So was happy to kind of chip in and get involved there. Still waiting for some of those youngsters to get to where they need auto insurance, but hoping, you know, the partnership pays off.
I think we got to get the ad running. We got to get the ad running again.
No, but I was happy to do it. I mean, you know, with being involved and playing a bit myself, haven't really gotten out there much this year with all that I've been doing with disc golf, and maybe this is just kind of a good time to segue a little bit into what is going on
let's talk about
in disc golf in Adrian.
Yeah, like it's getting big.
It's getting bigger.
Like the community's big already.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it. Like it's almost like we know the guy. That might be head leading. I'm gonna say that again. You pretty much know the guy.
we know the guy
who's in charge of making more opportunities for disc golf.
We do.
And you want to talk more about that?
Yeah, we're very fortunate to know this guy.
Great guy.
And that guy's me. So
also helps with the Lenawee Christmas.
Shoot, I forget if I'm turning right here. I think I am.
We'll find out. We will find out later.
Oh man, I'm really not sure. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I should have you pull it. Yeah.
I was just gonna say maybe the one that's
we should have thought about that. I had for those of you watching, obviously, we're heading to a disc golf course still, and the directions are on my phone, but my phone is flipped. We're using the high quality. Oh, there's a deer in the road. There's a lot going on here. Baby deer, little Bambi. Oh my gosh, another one.
That's a teeny one too.
Wow. Okay. Oh, and there's Mom.
I am glad that she's still in my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to disc golf.
And also trying to figure out
and our directions. But anyway,
I got distracted with
disc golf in Adrian. Yes, I am the president of Adrian Orbit Disc Golf Club. We're going to Updike Park. OPDYCKE. OPDY. Yes, that's it. There you go. I'm the president of Adrian Orbit Disc Golf Club, which, just kind of going back to everything that you were saying. When you realize with LYA, like, somebody had to organize something, and that had to be you.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing with me. Now, a little bit different in that there kind of already is, I guess, some degree of disc golf organization in Adrian.
Okay.
But the organization is different, we'll just say, than what my vision is. I want to be able to have kids and, pretty much anybody there, students, adults alike.
Yeah.
And, in Michigan, marijuana is legal. At city parks, marijuana is illegal. But the lines kind of get blurred because if it's legal in the state, but it's illegal in a park, it just, so people like to smoke their marijuana.
Yeah.
And they like to drink their alcohol. And if I'm running things with kids, I can't really have them.
No, and that's fair, especially like in the areas that we're into.
Right.
Because you run a league at.
Yes. Yep. So I partnered with the center and did a disc golf league. I've done it 2 summers now. Hoping to continue growing that. I think this year we had a little bit of. We didn't get the information out as early and well as we should have.
Yeah.
And so hopefully we can kind of improve upon that. But anyway, essentially the current group, when I moved to Adrian in November of 2020, was not really doing what my vision is. So I kind of had to start my own thing.
So what is that vision? Just to
so
bring that up.
So my vision is really developing more courses and developing young athletes. So just to give a brief background, I played basketball, baseball, football in high school, went on to play baseball in college, and after college, I didn't get drafted, and I was looking for stuff to do. I actually got into volleyball pretty heavily in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and played some softball in some softball leagues, played some basketball, love basketball. I still go back and forth on if basketball is my favorite or if disc golf is my favorite sport now, but besides the point, I was introduced to disc golf by a few friends, Lance Hope, Kevin Fodry, and Zach Herber, and really that just kind of sparked my love for disc golf. So after the first couple of years is then when I started to get into tournaments and the whole deal. But anyway, moving forward. My vision really is to get more young people into the sport, because I wish I had known about it a long time ago. And really, where you're able to develop and become, you know, the best you can be, a lot of times is in those earlier years. That's why, you know, sports leagues for basketball, baseball, and all that are, you know, we see it so prevalent in youth now. And I mean, there's a lot of other things. It's a lifelong sport.
Yeah.
It's very inexpensive. I think one of the lowest barriers to entry you can have. Many of the courses you play are free, so that's been great for me. In that, you know, I like golf, but do I want to spend $30 every round?
Yep.
Also, golf to play 18 holes can take you like 4 hours.
That is. I've never golfed, so I can.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. We should do a little golf outing.
Yeah, we should.
That'd be fun. So anyway,
it's like my motto though.
What's
it's
that?
For every time that I could have went out.
Yeah.
$30, you know, for golf.
A disc.
I can spend that on a disc.
Well, yeah, because now discs are so expensive.
So
you know,
if I golf every day for 7 days a week, I now have 7 discs.
Yeah.
It's cut back.
No, yeah, I see.
You got to pick and choose.
That is you know, that's you want to be careful in that mentality, because then
you're poor.
Well, yeah, and
like me,
really just you
chicken
spend more on than you need to, but it is a way to think about it. I mean,
you know, it's a horrible way to think about it, actually. But
if you've got the money, it's a way to think about it. But maybe if you don't, just kind of cool it a little bit.
And if you want to sponsor any disc, you know, Stray Facts today, just let us know.
Send us some discs.
We're gonna put the Venmo. No, I'm just kidding.
We do disc reviews. You know, I've actually played. This is a little 9-hole course.
Really?
Yeah. Maybe we can play it on the way back. Anyway,
we should do Straight Facts logo, and then put it on a custom disc.
That's a good idea.
And then for our 100th follower.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be cool. 100, then 1,000.
Yeah. That'd be kind of legit.
Yeah. That would
make some mean.
I'd like one of those discs. Anyway.
Same.
Facts. Where was I? Anyway.
Oh, my watch is up.
Yeah, I think I know I'm turning right here. So basically, with the vision, you know, I want to be able to get kids into it. I got a lot of college people. Got a lot of college people that come out and play right now from Adrian College in Siena Heights, and that's one of the cool things too. Is we have 2 colleges in Adrian.
Jackson College, Siena Heights, and
that's true.
Also,
you know,
College.
Jackson College, I kind of go back and forth on, because for years and years they used to be JCC, Jackson Community College. Yeah. I still am actually confused, because I grew up in Brooklyn, Michigan, near Jackson, Michigan, where Jackson Community College was based.
Yeah.
Turning left here, right?
Yes.
Then they decided, hey, we're actually going to be a college,
so they have
not a community college.
4-year classes now.
At the place in Adrian.
Both.
And Jackson, right.
Yeah.
I assumed, obviously, Jackson, but I didn't know that with Adrian.
Yeah. So,
wow. So we do. We do have 3 4-year. Okay. I guess I didn't realize that you were at the Adrian location for the whole degree.
I mean, I didn't personally do it, but I have a
There is a
degree
cop.
from.
There is a cop. I really hope we don't get pulled over. I was slightly speeding, and they're looking down. I think we're good.
I think he was watching the podcast.
He's probably watching our podcast.
Straight Facts.
Straight Facts. So, anyway, I basically decided we need more courses. And other people had said this to me, and I knew it all along anyway, but I also knew if I get another course in town, I could kind of use that as my course that I run things at. Really, when LCS is where I wanted to kind of revamp. Because they have a course now, but the baskets are pretty rough. All the holes are really short.
It works great for me, though.
Yeah, in retrospect, though, now I'm glad that everything didn't work out how I wanted it to in the beginning, you know?
Yeah.
It's interesting. God's timing is not always your timing, and sometimes we learn things that we did not see at first. So, you know, what I was going to do with LCS was kind of completely revamp it, take out all the old holes, completely make a new course, and really, I think that course serves a purpose, and that it's a good beginner course.
It's a good family course.
Yeah, I still want to revamp it, but I would not change it as drastically as I wanted to. But anyway,
Is that a house?
then I started working on some other things. I actually went to a Lenawee Young Professionals of Lenawee,
Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
I'm the president of. We're just Lenawee, you know.
We're all about Lenawee.
I'm now the president of somehow.
That's gonna be the
Somehow
mayor.
I got roped into that. But I have really enjoyed it. It's been a great organization. We do some cool stuff. I gotta get you to an event. So.
You know, we do gotta go to an event.
You know, you could speak at an event.
I could.
That would be awesome.
I would love to.
We could that. We're gonna do
Sponsored
that.
by Stray Facts.
We're gonna do that for sure. Anyway, I went to a Young Professionals of Lenawee event that was at Planewave Instruments. Now, Planewave Instruments, across from your alma mater, across from Jackson College, right across the street, is a beautiful campus. It's been many different things over the years, but it's home to the Center for the Arts, and then obviously Planewave Instruments, who makes telescopes. Now, very cool side story. They moved from California to Adrian because I believe one of the main guys at the company is from Britain, Britain Deerfield area.
Interesting.
And so they moved the whole company, and they've decided, hey, we're going to be really involved in this community. They've actually been buying businesses downtown Adrian to try to revamp them and help new businesses get into them. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
so
great people.
They're doing some cool things, and I basically went to them and I said, hey, what do you think about having a disc golf course? So this was 2021, last year.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, that sounds awesome. So basically, I've been working with them since last year to make this whole thing happen. I really started fundraising in the winter/spring of this year, 2022. And it's been quite the journey, man. I mean, like you were saying earlier, again, it's not going to happen unless you just do it.
It's
And so I just kind of took it upon myself to just start things up myself. I made a Facebook page. I actually just started an Instagram page as well. We're at, I believe, 120 members on Facebook, and we're about 50 to 60 on Instagram right now. And yeah, trying to get this course in. All while this was happening, I actually had Sienna Heights reach out to me and say, hey, we want to get into disc golf stuff. What can we do? How can you help us? I helped them design a course, or I designed the course rather, and they're installing it right now as we speak. So that should be in the ground in like 2 weeks, I think, or as soon as I get the baskets in. They're getting them from MVP, a company out of Michigan. Am I turning right here?
No,
I'm going straight. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I was gonna say
or left here. Sorry. But yeah, so that's exciting. And then Planewave has been very exciting. I mean, I just love the campus.
It's gorgeous.
It's cool.
It's gorgeous.
So I've actually got all the baskets. I'm still trying to get a little bit more fundraising, but I had the money for the baskets, and I knew I needed to get them because disc golf has just been crazy since the pandemic. Disc golf companies are selling out of stuff left and right. And I actually wanted to get these blue baskets that were kind of match the color of Planewave.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they stopped. They're not even doing blue anymore.
Really?
Yeah, so I had to go with the yellow. But the yellow is really a good classic color. I mean, they kind of mimic the original Innova disc catchers, although I think these are actually better because the basket portion is yellow as well, which I think is great, high visibility. Anyway, long story short, designing this course, my vision is more courses, more people playing, and hosting some tournaments, hosting some leagues, and
bringing community to Adrian.
And really, I mean, ultimately, yeah, for the name of Jesus. I mean,
you're taking a left at CR16.
Is that how far? No, right here. Right here. Okay. So yeah, you know, and that's what I'm hoping for. And, you know, it's sad. I kind of the other group of people that play in Adrian that I, you know, where I talk about smoking and drinking a little bit. I want to befriend them, but I know one of the guys, basically the guy that runs it, he actually unfriended me on Facebook. I think because I posted something just about Jesus.
Hot take.
Yeah, and so it was like, you know, it's kind of hard to work with people that are removing you from social media and stuff like that. So, you know, we're still pretty cordial, but and I've always been very friendly. but I've kind of just took it upon myself to start doing some of my own stuff.
Yeah.
And hopefully down the road, maybe he'll come back to me and say, hey, I want to partner with you, kind of thing. But that's where we are.
Yeah.
That was a long trip, but
definitely. Well, I think we had a great talk today.
Yeah, I think we should wrap this up. It's been we're probably wrapping up around 40-45 minutes of this podcast, but great first podcast.
Yeah, straight facts.
Straight facts. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
I hope so too.
Hopefully we can keep this going.
I think
this is kind of just came spur of the moment. We were
making a joke about a podcast.
Yeah, we got in the car on our way home from church, and I was like, I basically said, I feel like we need to make a podcast right now.
Welcome back. It's Anthony Delrosario.
Yeah, and Anthony was kind of like, or I said something about we need a podcast, and he was just like, just to clarify, you're saying make a podcast, not listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. And then
here we are.
Here we are.
Straight facts.
Straight facts. So yeah, and he came up with the name. I love it.
Actually, you just said it.
Oh, I said it.
You said it in a sentence. I said that's a great name for the podcast.
Yeah. Really, I give it to you though, because my intention was not at all to have that be the name of the podcast. So it's it's obviously a team effort, and we're looking forward to teaming up here in Lenawee County, even though we're not there right now. But yeah, looking forward to see what we can do. So, straight facts.
Signing off.
Adios.